This morning I came across a problem that fits into a fairly wide umbrella of questions that I'm regularly asked. And it goes something like this. Joseph, how do I figure out how to do something the right way in Magento? My specific case was writing some code that I needed to delete some quote items, and I completely forgot how to delete quote items. So what do I do? Well, the first thing I did was I turned to Google, and quickly let's see how this works. Programmatically here is a very, very key word. Drop that in there and you're going to probably get code results, which is really helpful. Second, I started looking through the dates here. I see 2017, 2019, 2018. These are kind of old. Now, one thing to note is I did see after the fact that 2019 is listed here. So this might actually be a better result. I clicked into WebCools. Maybe I'll be able to find my answer here, and we will see. But here is the one thing, actually a couple of things first. I found Object Manager in this code. No shade against WebCool here, but I'm just calling this out for your references, and that is Object Manager in the code is a bad idea. It's a red flag. So first we need to evaluate, okay, is this even, maybe we can take the concept from this. We can't copy and paste it. Maybe we can at least take the concept from it. But second, I am seeing here that we are iterating through all items. We are calling this getItemModelLoad, which is a deprecated function, and then we're going to call quote item delete. Well, what if the actual quote itself still has the items associated with it? I don't know how that's going to function, because if the items are still in memory, but we delete it from the database, it could try to add them back into the database, as well as we probably need to recollect quote totals at this point in time. So for those reasons, I don't think we can necessarily use this. So it's led me to think, okay, what are we going to do? So let's jump over into the Magento code and take a look. Now, this is my source of inspiration for many areas. Again, as a caveat, Magento code is not perfect. There are some ways that, some areas in particular that are really not good examples, but at least we can usually get the idea and see how Magento did it and how we can learn to do it ourselves. So in this case, we have our quote item IDs. I fetched these, and now I need to go find how to delete them. So I can think of several modules off the top of my head as far as where to delete these. Number one would be in module sales, but that handles orders. That's not necessarily applicable here. Number two is module quote. Let's take a look there. That houses the quote object. So we'll come down to module quote, but I don't see a controller here. Maybe there is a web API. So, but ultimately, if we delete an item on the front end, and feel free to test this out, it's a controller. It hits a controller, not a API. So module quote isn't this. So you might be going on a bit of a rabbit chase, trying to figure this out. I will short circuit this for you. It's in module checkout. Controller, and you can see this on the front end if you were to click through the link to delete an item. Controller, let's see here, it's cart, delete. All right, so we are in Magento core code here, seeing how they delete an item. Takes a quote item ID, this cart remove item. Well, what's this cart? I don't necessarily know. Check out Magento checkout model cart. Maybe maybe this is our key. Except that if your eyes are open, you will see that this is a deprecated module or deprecated model. So we can't necessarily use that. But let's just click through our, let's see, oopsie, wrong one. Delete, right here. Let's click through to remove item. This is basically calling remove item on the quote. So we have our answer. We need to call quote remove item. So I can go back and refactor this. We have our cart loaded in here. We'll just do for each quote item IDs as quote item ID. Then it'll be cart remove item. Oh, now we got another issue. We'll do another video on this another time. Cart is technically of a cart repository, cart interface, but we're actually dealing with the quote itself. So one thing we can do is we can type into this over. There's some other solutions to this problem. Temporarily, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to just type into this quote. We see that this cart remove item works, and we save the cart repository back, and the problem is solved. Just as simple as that. We looked at the Magento core code again. It's not 100% perfect, but it works in a lot of cases. That will save you quite a little time here.